Hope you guys had a good Christmas. You get good gifts. What's up, guys? So today is technically... No, it's Wednesday. So today is Wednesday, and I went back to my Wednesdays because there's still no Thursday game, but I thought, hey, why not? We'll go back to doing picks on Wednesdays. There's a few things I need to talk about before I get into my picks. The first and most important, back in August, September, I didn't have many subscribers. I think I had below 1,000 at the time. I did a fantasy league. I had 2 leagues going, 10 and 10. I was in one. And the whole premise of these 2 fantasy leagues is I said the championship game, the 2 winners, whoever had the highest score wins it all. So in the one fantasy league, which I was a part of, it was me and Dustin's Dolphins going into the championship round. I ended up winning that game in a very, 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 very tight game. I won 118.10, Dustin's Dolphins 117.72. Then in the other league, we had Cutler did 6 and 10 facing Marino's my dad, and Marino's my dad won 147.70 to 130.30, which he had the higher score than I did in my championship game. So without further ado, the winner of the first annual DouglieDoWrong Fantasy Football League is Kyle, aka Marino's my dad. Congratulations, you won the very first DouglieDoWrong fantasy football. What do you win? Not only do you win the league, but now in next year's fantasy league, if you would still like to be a part of it, you are automatically entered into that league. Now, I'm thinking for next year's league, I'm gonna do a money league, kind of like $5-10 to get in. And for you, Marino's my dad, since you won, no charge for you, so you're automatically in that league. Just because I noticed that in this league, a lot of times, if people started doing bad and if they got on a slump of like a 3-game losing streak, they just gave up because they had nothing to lose and nothing to, go for. So I think in next year's league, I'm going to make the stakes a little bit higher and maybe put money on it. Maybe I'll put a jersey on the line for the winner, something. But Marino's my dad, Kyle, you're automatically into next year's league. If you'd like to, let me know. But I wanted to talk about that because we got our fantasy league winner. Next, let's talk about playoffs. Now, with the playoffs, right, there's a lot of things about this upcoming week that could affect playoff scenario. So if the Chiefs lose and the Patriots beat the Jets, which they probably will, then the Patriots go from 2 to friggin' 1, get home field advantage through all the playoffs, and I would hate that just because I hate the Patriots. So that's one case scenario. Now, when it comes to the wild card in the hunts, the Steelers would need the Ravens to lose to the Browns and the Steelers to beat the Bengals, and then the Steelers take that number 4 seed and win the division. When it comes to the Texans can actually fall out of the 3rd seed if the Titans or the Colts win. So for the Titans-Colts, it's win, you're in. But if they win and the Texans lose, then they fall out of the division winner, and the Colts or the Titans become the division winner. When it comes to the NFC, the Eagles need the Vikings to lose, and the Eagles need to win. Then they switch places, and the Eagles take the 6th seed, and the Vikings are knocked out. Before I get into the picks, again, because I already said that, me and my dad are tied. So if you remember about 2 weeks ago, I said to you guys that, if it comes to like we're off a game or, I have a 2-game lead on him or he has whatever on me, we're just going to pick the opposite games. Well, that doesn't matter anymore because we're both tied at 143, 92, and 2. So whoever wins this week wins it all. Hopefully it's me because I had a huge lead on him and I blew it. So let's get into the picks. So you got the Atlanta Falcons going to Tampa to take on the Bucs. Me and my dad are both taking the Atlanta Falcons. I personally think that the Falcons have more to play for. They have Julio Jones, which he's been banged up for a while, so I don't know if Julio Jones is actually going to play, but Matt Ryan. And I just like the way the Falcons are playing more than I like the way the Bucs are playing. Then you have the Dallas Cowboys heading to New Jersey to take on the Giants. Me and my dad are both picking the Giants in this one. My dad says he's going to go crazy and pick, picked the Giants because he thinks that the Cowboys are going to win this one. I don't think the Cowboys are going to play any of their starters. They already clinched the division and they have nothing to really play for, so they're going to rest their starters. So I honestly think that the Giants are going to win this one because Dak Prescott's not going to play, Ezekiel Elliott's not going to play, Amari Cooper probably won't play. You get what I'm saying. Next, we have the Carolina Panthers heading down to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Again, the Saints clinched the #1 seed, so I honestly think that the Saints aren't going to play anybody. Drew Brees, nobody. But that means Teddy Bridgewater is going to play. A lot of Dolphin fans, we should watch this game, see how Teddy Bridgewater plays, and see if you want Teddy Bridgewater on your team. The Panthers also have their backup quarterback in, but me and my dad are still both going to take the Saints because it's just the Saints team is better, even with their backups, compared to the backups of the Panthers. Then we have the Jets heading to Foxborough to take on the Patriots. I will say this. How the hell did the Patriots get 2 home games as the last 2 games on their schedule? Like, seriously? You really trying to push them into the playoffs, NFL? Come on. Come on. So, obviously, me and my dad are both taking the Patriots. We're taking the Patriots because they're still playing for the #1 seed. They still want that #1 seed. They don't want to have to go to Kansas City and face the Chiefs. So they really want that #1 seed, and we think they'll play hard, so we're both taking the Patriots. Then we got the Jacksonville Jaguars heading to Houston to take on the Texans. The Texans, like I said before, are playing for the division and are playing to win the division. Because if they lose, they're out of the division. So me and my dad are both taking the Texans in that one. Then we got the Lions headed up to Lambeau to take the Packers on. If Aaron Rodgers plays or not, we don't know. But me and my dad are both going to take the Packers on this one just because you're heading up to Lambeau. They got Eagles heading to Washington to take on the Redskins. Me and my dad are both taking the Eagles. They're fighting for more. Nick Foles is hot. Redskins are they're beat up, so they're probably just done with the season. So then next we have the Chargers heading up to Denver to take on the Broncos. Now, I initially thought, Chargers probably going to rest their guys because, they already clinched the playoffs. But I didn't realize that if the Chargers win and the Chiefs lose to the Raiders, then the Chargers take the #1 seed and they win the division. So the Chargers are playing for something, so me and my dad are both taking the Chargers in this one. Raiders heading to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Me and my dad are both taking the Chiefs because, again, the Chiefs now have to win or else the Chargers and the Patriots might overtake them for that #1 seed. Next, we have the Chicago Bears taking on the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. Me and my dad are both taking the Bears because this is another scenario where if the Bears win and the Rams lose, the Bears are going to win the 2nd seed in the playoffs, which is good for them because they get home field advantage. So me and my dad are both taking the Bears because they have a lot to play for. Week 17 has turned out to be a really great, crazy week for football. Then we have the Cleveland Browns heading to Baltimore to take the Ravens on. This is one of the games where me and my dad are completely different, which could also pick who wins the picks. My dad's taking the Browns. He thinks that the Browns are going to beat Baltimore and essentially let the Steelers win the division. I honestly think that the Ravens are going to win this one, and they're going to end up winning the division. Ravens have a lot to play for, and Lamar Jackson's playing real good, so I'm taking the Ravens. Then we have the 49ers at the Rams. Me and my dad are both taking the Rams. They have a lot to play for. Again, if they lose and the Bears win, the Rams go down to the 3rd seed, and the Bears go to the 2nd seed. So me and my dad are taking the Rams because the Rams are going to beat the crap out of the 49ers. Then we have the Cincinnati Bengals heading up to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Me and my dad are both taking the Steelers. For one, the Steelers play completely different at home. And for two, they need to win this and they need the Ravens to lose to get into the playoffs. They go from being division winners for so long and division leaders for so long. Now, all of a sudden, they might get knocked out of the playoffs. If they get knocked out of the playoffs, Mike Tomlin might get fired. So we'll see what happens there. Then we got the Cardinals taking on the Seahawks. And me and my dad are both taking the Seahawks in this one. Don't be surprised if they rest their starters because they kind of are locked in on the wild card. They can't win the division and move their place. So don't be surprised if the Cardinals win this one. But me and my dad are both taking the Seahawks. And then finally, the Sunday night game. Indianapolis Colts facing the Tennessee Titans. And you're in. If the Colts win, they're in either wild card or division winner. If the Titans win, they're in either wild card or division winner. My dad is taking the Titans. I'm taking the Colts. I think the Colts will play better with Andrew Luck, and I think Marcus Mariota is banged up. So this final Sunday night game is huge because you have the Colts and the Titans are going to sit there and watch the Jaguars take on the Texans. If the Jaguars pull off this upset and beat the Texans, then they know that they're playing for the division title and they're playing for home field in the first round of the playoffs. So this is going to be a big one. Again, I'm taking Colts. My dad is taking the Titans. And then finally, we got the Miami Dolphins headed to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Me and my dad are both taking the Fins. Do I honestly think that the Fins will win? Probably not. What I would really like to see is a lot of backups playing. But Adam Gase said that he's playing to win. But you're like, whatever, dude. He's being very apprehensive about the whole job security thing, but I'll talk more about that on Friday in my review of the Dolphins and Bills. But those are the picks. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of this crazy week of scenarios of how the Patriots can be number 1 seed, how the Chargers can be number 1 seed, how the Chiefs can fall down to the wild card, how the Bears can be number 2 seed and the Rams can fall down, and all of this crazy jambling mess up. Tell me if you think the Eagles will make the playoffs and the Vikings won't. Tell me if you think the Steelers won't make the playoffs and the... Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. This week 17 is crazy. I wish the Dolphins would have beat the Vikings and would have friggin' beat the Jaguars and had a lot of stake in this game, but they didn't. So it is what it is. We can watch these games and root for anyone but the Patriots. So let me get to your comment of the day. And this one comes from Rob, and he asks, so do you think Josh Dobbs is going to stay in Pittsburgh because he's going to replace Ben soon? Why would they let him go? This is because I was saying that I want Joshua Dobbs or Teddy Bridgewater or both. And the reason why I think that we could get Joshua Dobbs is because in last year's draft, they drafted a quarterback in the second round. If you remember when they drafted a quarterback in the second round, everyone was like, oh, Ben, what do you think about that? And he was like, it's whatever. And he said some like mean comment or whatever. So I honestly think for some reason they're going to move on from Joshua Dobbs and keep that backup, that second round quarterback in there. But you never know. Maybe they don't want to pay him as much as maybe other teams will pay him. So there's a possibility he's available. And if he's available, I jump on it. I like Joshua Dobbs. I like what he can do with his legs and his arm and all that jazz. But thank you for the comment, Rob. Hope I answered your question. But other than that, follow me on Twitter. I tweet out things. I'm going to be tweeting out a lot of things in the offseason, especially if cuts happen, trades happen, all that stuff. So be sure to follow me on Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter and you can't, that's okay. I'll be making videos all the time. Check out my second channel, The Bit Boys. We do videos every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're getting done with Christmas, and then we got a bunch of games we're going to play. So be sure to go over there, check it out if you like video games. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Give this video a thumbs up because this week 17 is going to be very entertaining. Not only do we get to watch the Dolphins play one last time, and hopefully they get a win, but you start to see what the playoff scenario starts to look like. But also give this video because after this week, we'll start to see what direction the owner of the Miami Dolphins is going to take this team and what direction. Are we going to fire Gase? Are we going to keep Gase? You know, is this dude going to have a backbone and bring in some, football people in the top office? So give a thumbs up because I honestly think things are going to get better. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Just because the season's over doesn't mean I'm done making videos. I got playoff videos for you guys, Super Bowl videos for you guys, free agency, draft. I got prospects, scouting. Let me know what you guys want me to scout. I'm going to break down everything. So subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I will see you guys on Friday with my preview for the Dolphins-Bills game. But other than that, like usual, stay classy. Fins up.